wanting to be inconvenienced is ruining our relationships. I think for me and many other people, to be thought about is really how you feel loved, right? To be considered. And now I'm thinking, in the time and age where many of us can't stand to be inconvenienced, how do we really showcase that? Because a lot of us say we're lonely, but we're refusing to really take that little step. Talk to that person. Say, hey, I like your top. And not everything has to lead to some sort of best friendship or sisterhood. But sometimes it just builds on to the human experience. And a lot of us are forgetting to do that because we're so locked in and tuned into our phones. I know I am. On top of that, I'm awkward, so, I'm leaning into that too a little bit. It's a little risk, but the reward is crazy. The other risk too is you could easily just be ignored. And are we willing to risk that? I don't know if I am. Well, at least not today. Are you? Most awkward conversations, whether standing in the line or like one of my best friends, I literally walked up to her in 5th grade and asked her if she could sing. I was like, can you sing, girl? Do you know how to sing? Yeah. But just goes to show that most of our relationships aren't going to be because we were forced to hang out with each other, or our moms are friends, or our dads are friends. Some of it's going to come from that awkward relationship. And I think that because technology allows us to swipe, and everything is at our own convenience, right? That's the whole point of technology, is to aid us, to make things easier. But I think the fight, the risk, that bond is really, that experience is really where good friendships are made. I know some of you guys think, but why can't we just be friends from Bumble BFF? You could, and I would say that even creating a profile on Bumble BFF saying, hey, I need friends, in itself is a risk. So my statement is not just to challenge you to take a risk of talking to random strangers. I want you to be careful. But it's also about, like, are you willing to take the extra step to make those friends? This is really talking to not just the extroverts, but definitely the introverts out there who would rather stay in the house. On the sofa, like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, not really trying to be outside with everybody else. I know most of us who moved here from a different city, a different town, who are living in this super big city, are having a hard time. Because we didn't move here with our friends, we don't have these identity markers, or we're at the same school, or we know the same person to really bring us together with these new people. So there is a big risk factor, a huge risk factor. And it can be really lonely. And I think a lot of us weren't taught the skills to really break out and make friends and build relationships. And I definitely don't have all the answers, but I do have one answer. As someone who came into this country, didn't speak the language, who didn't have anything in common with most people except for the fact that I'm a human being, really use risk. Say, hey, you know what? The gain outweighs the risk. Friendship in itself is the bonding mechanism that creates life, right? People pass because they weren't social. Being social beings is literally what we are. And although I don't have a step-by-step guide, I do want to invite you to truly take that big step and have an uncomfortable conversation. This also goes into having uncomfortable conversations with the friends you already have. Inconvenience yourself to maybe evaluate how you treat others, and see your own flaws. I've had to do that a couple times and it doesn't feel good, but oh, the gain of being a better friend, the gain of rebuilding relationships, nothing better. There's nothing better. You know, when people say that friendship breakups hurt more than romantic breakups, remaking with a friend, not one that was like, you know, toxic or anything, but rebuilding with a friend when you guys just fell off, man, does that feel good. That's probably one of the greatest feelings. And there's reason for that. So if you really, really care about your social health, then take that risk. Do the big deed. Have the uncomfortable conversation. Shit, I'm doing that right now. Let's all try this friendship thing together. Like, we're all learning about growing up, sisterhood, taxes, finances. I won't teach you none of that because I don't know nothing about none of that. I'm learning too. And maybe if we can discover patterns that we have, like not liking being inconvenienced because we grew up with technology and life was made super simple, maybe we can regain the lost spaces of our friendships and our relationships. At least we can try. For more stuff like this, as I learn and go on my friendship, sisterhood, and adult journey, like and subscribe.